I want to thank the leader for doing what the Speaker of the House refuses to do, and that's to bring us here today to focus on doing everything that we can do as members of Congress to provide oversight and support to bring every single American home. That's my question today. Where is Nancy Pelosi? Why isn't she here? Each and every one of us changed our plans so that we could be here today, yesterday, and in the days to come to do everything that we can to safely bring every American home. We just had a moment of silence on the floor of the House of Representatives for the 12 American heroes that we lost in Afghanistan. Not a single Democrat joined us on the floor of the House in that moment of silence. And that is a shame. But perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. This morning, the head of the Democrat National Committee sent out a press release claiming victory and saying that this president did what no other president could do, as if he's some kind of hero. The Democrats have politicized this, and it's absolutely shameful. This morning on the news shows, Admiral John Kirby, the spokesperson for the Pentagon, on Fox News said that there's somewhere above 100 Americans who are still in Afghanistan. That was on Fox News. Earlier in the morning on Morning Joe, he said a few hundred. Yesterday, General McKenzie said a few hundreds are left in Afghanistan. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken last night in his press conference said it's less than 200, but it's closer to 100. Earlier in the day, he said it was 250. The fact of the matter is that this administration still has no idea how many Americans they have left behind enemy lines in Afghanistan as they ended the evacuation mission. They ended the evacuation mission not because America decided to do so, but because this president, this commander-in-chief, kowtowed to the Taliban. He did what the Taliban told him to do, and he stopped evacuating Americans, leaving an estimated hundreds of Americans still in Afghanistan behind enemy lines. I served in Afghanistan in 2014 and 15. I served on the front lines of the effort to train, advise, and equip the Afghan Army. I'm a Navy Reserve logistics officer, and in Afghanistan I served in a foreign military sales role. Never did I think at that time or every day since that everything that I was a part of would fall, all of the equipment that we acquired to give the Afghans, the Afghan Army, the Afghan police, to fight against the Taliban, all of that equipment would be left behind and fall into the hands of the Taliban. Over $85 billion worth of American-made military equipment. That includes 75,000 vehicles, 208 airplanes and helicopters, over 600,000 small arms and light weapons left behind to fall into the hands of the Taliban. The Taliban now has more Black Hawk helicopters than 85% of the countries in the world because of the negligence of this administration. But folks, it's not just weapons. It's night vision goggles, body armor, and unbelievably, the Taliban now has the biometric data stored on biometric devices that we left behind that has the information, the personal identification information of the Afghans who served alongside us as interpreters or served in the Afghan army as a part of our mission to fight against the Taliban. This is unbelievable to me. It makes me sick to my stomach. Because you know what I think of? I think of Sergeant Major Wardell Turner, the highest ranking enlisted member in my unit who was killed in a roadside bomb while I served alongside him in Afghanistan. What would he think knowing that we left hundreds of Americans behind? What does his family wake up and think today? That we've left hundreds of Americans behind enemy lines. He never would have stood for that. He would have fought to do everything that he could to bring every American home. And it makes me sick to my stomach thinking that any life that we lost, anyone who paid a sacrifice in Afghanistan along the way, has to wake up today and wonder, any family member that wake up today and wonder, why would any administration, why would any president, commander-in-chief leave any American behind? It's never happened before. This has never happened before in American history that a mission like this would be so botched that we would leave Americans behind enemy lines. We don't even know how many of them are there. So again, I want to thank the leader for doing what the Speaker of the House refuses to do. With that, I yield to a real American hero, someone who did pay enormous sacrifices in Afghanistan. Representative Crenshaw.